So the SCDP program automatically has some factors that engender success within candidates who are willing to commit themselves to the program to begin with. It provides you a platform for impact, for visibility, for an external environment, for being champions of the cause of your own function, and also espousing a cause that is common for the program, which is furthering potential high performance talent. And also, as we know, there's STC, or the Strategic Team Challenge, embedded within the program, and it helps you get exposure cross-functional, be visible to higher management. So it was a mixture of a few or more of these elements that I adopted, and got support from the corporate HR, from my home HR, from my line manager, and I think they all came together in a very happy mixture of things. And yes, that's what I would believe I would attribute my success to. Well, the SCDP is all about challenges, and it's about living up to them, and hence it lends itself very easily to a module called the Strategic Team Challenge within the SCDP. And it's challenged with a lot of fun, I would say. It's not just challenge for the sake of challenge. And what it has helped me overcome is a little bit of a cultural barrier, a little bit of a functional barrier, a language barrier, if you please, and to reach out and feel at ease in a room of people who are very diverse in their sensibilities and their acceptance of other people's commitment to the program or not, and about being on that one common platform where there is a guiding light, or at least a goal to be achieved at the end of the day, and all of us driving committedly towards that goal with the same gusto and the same amount of passion at the end of the day. Of course, it doesn't start like that, but it ends like that, and I think that's the most important part. So I think from a cross-cultural perspective, from a cross-functional perspective, it just helps you become a better team. And we're a company of nearly 50,000 people, and can you believe what we can achieve if we would work better as a team? Well, there have been quite a few highlights. Back in the day when we began, I think the entry conference is quite memorable, and you make new friends, you make new contacts, you make new associates that you can depend on, basically, just to pick up the phone and, have them reach you to a certain position holder or a placeholder, somebody who can actively influence the task at hand. Moving on to mentorship is something that I would imagine works better in a more informal environment rather than a very formal, structured environment, because the way that the SCDP program is structured, especially with regards to mentorship, is that one of the functional heads or a management team member mentors the candidate, but that's not necessarily always something that would come from a point of view of availability and a formal scheduling. So I would imagine a more informal perspective, I don't know, going out for a drink, or talking about each other's families and what drives you and me, both the mentor and the mentee, and really getting to know each other better, and also drawing from the influence, the perspective towards a larger goal and the experience of the mentor, and how the mentee can draw it within himself or herself and really align himself or herself to the company culture, the task at hand, and finally what he would like to get out of the program. So that's really, I would imagine, the crux of the mentorship. And some of my best memories are from the Strategic Team Challenge, which over a span of 6 months brings you very much closer together to your mates, and you really get to know each other very well, what really ticks him off and what really gets him going, him or her. And I think I cannot underscore the point enough about teamwork, wherein when you finally stand in front of the management board of the company, you're really coming across as somebody, a little bit of a motley crew, because you're across, 10 time zones, but you're talking the same language, you hopefully have the same level of passion, and you are oriented towards achievement, which at the end of the day is important for the company. And I think there's wonders you can do with teamwork, the good kind. Well, not really words off the wise to prospective joinees, but yes, I would say that let's take a little more macro perspective. In B2B organizations, especially engineering corporations or industrial corporations, in my perspective, HR is given a very well, let me not be judgmental, but it's given a more transactional perspective. It's you pay your salaries on time and you somehow retain them and send them for trainings, blah, blah, blah. But that is not how it works in Schindler. And I'm very proud to be part of an organization that looks at career development, hence Schindler Career Development Program, very actively. It looks at something that we call a talent radar. It's something about putting together the best minds in a certain room, have them achieve a certain objective, and then also translate that knowledge back to their functions, their fields, their areas of expertise. So one can hope to make a career here. One can really hope to make a long-term commitment to whatever job family that you belong to. And it's really something that I would imagine a high potential talent looks forward to. So can you imagine what all you could do if you pick a winning team and everybody's as committed to the cause as the other guy on the team is? So it's just a recipe for success, in my opinion. So that's my biggest tip to anybody who would wish to come on board. You're going to join a winning team. And can you imagine the amount of fun you would have there? Yeah, well, join, don't join was our little effort at finding the little Spielberg within all of us. And it was very important from the perspective of making light of the fact that it's such a heavy decision for people to come on board or not come on board, but giving it a humorous perspective without missing out on the nuts and bolts of the decision, to say that it's not only fun, it's cross-cultural. You get in touch with the top management of the company, you have a team to work with, you have an objective to achieve, and at the end of the day, it's a lot of fun you can have, you know. My best takeaway from the STC is the one drunken night we had in Hong Kong with all my buddies, and they all know who I'm talking about, and you know, it brought us closer together as a team, as human beings, as individuals, and I know I can pick up the phone and call each and every member of that team for whatever it is that I would need. And that's really the most fun part about the program and about the way it's structured and about what it, end of the day, hopes to achieve with all of us. We were 6 of us and then there was another team of 6. So I think we're all much closer together as a community. And I always keep going back to the same adage I've been brought up with. Team is T-E-A-M. Together, everybody achieves maximum. So that's team for me. And I think that's what we did. We achieved the maximum out of what each and every one of us, all 6 of us, could bring to the table. And I think we've made a big success out of our STC and overall the SCDP program, or the mandate with which it was conceptualized. All right, so the move to Dubai was a very exciting one. It's a truly international city. It's a very high engagement, high power city wherein it's really on the go. And you know, you have to not only imbibe the local culture, which is a very proud Arabic culture, you have to also be part of the milieu of expatriates who live, I would imagine about more than 2/3 of that city and that country is expatriates. And some of the challenges initially are language, but I shouldn't say that because I'm Indian and about 70% of the crowd there is Indian, so we speak Hindi. This is not really a problem. Some of the challenges is adapting, I don't know, to the weather, to some of the local customs, getting accepted in the local teams. I would just recommend to everybody who's looking to move internationally to really go with the flow and accept local cultures and really enjoy the diversity rather than fight it. And then I can assure you, you would have a very fulfilling and enriching experience. It's still early days for me, just about half a year in my new assignment, but I'm already enjoying it very much. And I wouldn't imagine anybody who would adopt the same approach about accepting more of local cultures, customs, ways of doing business, etc., would or would not stand to benefit at the end of it. So it's really my biggest tip that you should go with the flow, be more accepting of cultures, of customs, of ways of doing business, the laws of the land, etc. And I think there's a very exciting time for anyone who looks to take up an international assignment.